Howdy folks, Neil here from Brooks Family Farm. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. I'm going to make a real quick video for you today about food storage, because when I started doing a lot of this, I had a hard time finding ideas on YouTube. So this is 2,000 pounds of pig feed. So in case you were unaware, when you buy feed for basically anything, you almost always get a discount for buying in some sort of bulk. And so when we first started, and I was buying cattle feed, the way that we were able to get a discount, even though we didn't have any bulk storage at the time, the best way in order to get a bulk price for me was to buy an entire pallet. At the time, that particular feed store offered a discount of like a quarter a bag or whatever if you bought, a full pallet, 2,000 pounds worth of feed, which was great at the time. Really happy about it. It worked out really well. After that, I switched and I bought some barrels. They were burn barrels though, and they had this some sort of, it's like a epoxy paint that Tracker, the boat company, actually uses in order to coat boats for waterproofing. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's nasty stuff and you cannot get it out of the barrels. So I would put these liners inside of the barrels in order to use those. That was my second solution. So my first solution for storing that feed was just to buy those pallets, and I would put an entire pallet inside of my shop. This was years ago. I had a much smaller shop, and it led to, unsurprisingly, like a boat ton of rodents. So had to figure out a different solution for that. This was my more long-term solution for storing our cattle feed. This is a grain cart on a wagon running wheel. It's got a gate here with a latch, and of course it has this flip out thing that you can put a bucket on, which is nice, and it's full of our cattle feed. That's what's in there right now. Using a grain bin like that can be a really great solution. For one, they're typically a lot cheaper, or at least they used to be. They used to be a lot cheaper than purchasing a full-on grain bin. Plus, if you have a feed store that delivers, they can come out and fill that up. That one holds 3 tons of feed, which is really great. And so the folks that make that feed store, they actually come out and fill that up for me. However, as you saw earlier in the video, our pig feed is only available in bags. So it's a specialty product, and the folks that we buy it from, the folks that manufacture it, which is their like parent group, the ones that manufacture it, only sell it through that one particular branch. So I can't get it in bulk as much as I would like to. I cannot get it in bulk. I cannot get it delivered like that. So I buy it at regular price, 1,000, 2,000 pounds at a time. So this is my storage solution. Excuse the mess. So these are 55-gallon plastic food-safe drums. What they had in them was sunflower oil, so I bought them for, I don't remember, maybe $15 a piece or something like that. And I cut them just below the lip, and I'll show you kind of what I mean here. So if you just cut the lid, right, or you cut the top of it right below the lid, because these don't have snap rings or anything like that, then you're able to take it and actually flip it upside down. It actually sits on there pretty good. So if you put a little weight on it, like say here I have a hip lift for my cows. That's a stick shift off an old International tractor. Sometimes we double up the lids if we have extra lids. We do that, or even over here on this one, this is a 55-gallon drum lid actually on top of there. Rodents are just kind of an inevitable part of farm life, and so we have to try and find a way in order to keep our feed from getting rodents in it, and this is one of the easiest ways that we've found to do this on the cheap, because nobody likes to have to go and get more feed all the time, and so this is a really cheap way to store some feed. So I'm going to pull some bags, and I'm just going to start putting it in these barrels. Each one of these barrels holds right about 300 pounds of feed. And sometimes I drop them. Now, you can find these things all over Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. I guarantee you, if you start looking online, you're going to find somebody. In worst case scenario, you just ask on your Facebook page. You know, does anybody know anybody that carries plastic 5-gallon drums? There are lots of farm stores that sell them and things like that, and they're great for feed storage. Now, ideally, it would be great to have one that didn't have oil in it. All of them that I've ever bought have all had sunflower oil. A lot of that comes through here. I do understand there are certain parts of the country, though, where restaurants will order like organic soy sauce in barrels like these, which would mean all you have to do is rinse it out with water, which sounds pretty convenient. Unfortunately, since these have had sunflower oil in them, what I do is I use my pressure washer in order to get all the residual sticky oils out of them, which, depending on what you're using them for, you may not have to remove it. But since I'm putting, really highly ground feed in it, which is for pigs, I don't want that sticking to the sides. Now, obviously, this is not the be-all, end-all, perfect solution for everybody for feed, but it's something that has worked well for us, and I wish I could have found more people who were talking about it, on the YouTubes, is what it is. But I'm going to show you real quick another idea that I've seen that I actually want to implement, and I'm going to put it in a video so that way I feel like I might be more likely to do it. You've probably seen these before. These are IBC totes. Now, IBC totes have this plastic cage around them, and then a metal cage around them, and then this plastic tank on the inside. And this one right here actually originally held, if you can kind of see that, apple cider vinegar. It was organic apple cider vinegar. Fancy. And it has a spigot down here at the bottom to be able to release out the liquid out of it. Now, the only thing we've ever used them for is for transporting water. Up until this point, I'm sure you've seen lots of projects with them. They're reasonably priced, typically. I think when I bought those, I paid $50 a piece, and I actually thought it was expensive at the time, but that's been several years ago. I typically see them now anywhere between $100, $150 or so. But what I'd really like to do is cut a little bigger piece out of the top of it, and then they sell some actual grain gates, and I've seen some designs where people have cut some holes out of the side of them and put one of those little grain gates on them so that they could use a bucket to fill it up. I think that looks pretty cool. I hope that helps. I hope it's given you some ideas about maybe some ways that you could store feed at your house. Obviously, that's not all the ideas for feed storage that are available. I'm sure that there's a lot more. So hey, if you've got a great idea for store and feed in bulk at your farm, especially on the cheap, please comment down below. I would love to see your solutions. If you've got a video on YouTube, link it in the comments so that we can all go check it out, so that we can all learn and grow together. I hope you enjoyed, and more importantly, I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.